Hi, this is Cheryl McDermott, Mountain View Realty Group. Thank you for joining us. So today we're going to be talking about your home inspection, and I'm speaking about Western Washington specifically, but I know of numerous other markets that are experiencing the same thing, where our inventory is extremely low. We don't have a lot of houses on the market, and therefore the demand is really high. And buyers need to be competitive, and they need to make sure that their offers are competitive. If you haven't checked out my blog on making sure that your offer is competitive, please do so. But we're in this time where how do you make those offers competitive and still allow for a home inspection? And what's the importance of having that home inspection? We're going to dig a little deeper. So many times, especially we have the two offices. We have Hoodsport, the smaller market, which is the vacation home market. I would say vacation second home is very common, the purchases out here, even vacant land. We do a lot of recreational property, unlike what we're doing in Seattle. So in Seattle, it is mostly single family residence or condos. That's really what we're experiencing in that market. So when you look at the two different markets, in the smaller market, it is very rare that people waive their home inspection. However, in the city, we're finding that buyers often waive their home inspection. And what's wrong with doing that? Well, the lender typically will never require a home inspection, and a home inspection is not to provide value to tell you how much that home is worth. It's really to give you an idea of what type of maintenance and repairs will be necessary. I have not been through one home inspection that hasn't come up with a laundry list of items, even new homes. So this laundry list of items allows the buyer time to look at it and decide if they're willing to live with these things. Just because you have the home inspection doesn't mean that you need to renegotiate, although you can. But that home inspection really gives you peace of mind as to the quality of the house that you're purchasing. And remember, caveat emptor, buyer beware. It's really the buyer's responsibility to make sure that they want to move forward. And if they don't get a home inspection, then they really don't know what they're getting into, and down the road could have a house that isn't even habitable. So strongly encourage, even if it's only a 3-day home inspection period, pass, fail, however we want to word that to make sure that your offer is competitive is great. But I strongly recommend not waiving that home inspection. So what are other ways that we can make the offer strong? Like we talked about, the lender's not going to require home inspection, so it's one of those easy things to make the seller want to choose our offer. So with the lender not requiring that, we don't have to do it. We know that we have to get an appraisal. We know that that appraisal has to come in at value for lending purposes. If we're paying cash, then we're not required. I don't want to say don't need. We're not required to have the home inspection or the appraisal. So what are we going to do? Are you going to order an appraisal? Are you going to have a home inspection? There's a ton of options on how to do that. And we're also seeing in the market in the cities, we're seeing that a lot of sellers will do a pre-inspection and then post that in the supplements on the MLS so that the buyers have access to see what the home inspector saw. Now, the detriment of this is that the seller hired that person and we don't really know where they're from, and they represent the seller at that point. So it isn't necessarily your eyes, but that would be completely up to the buyer if they're comfortable with that inspection and want to move forward and then waive that inspection period. But back to, how do we make strong offers without waiving that inspection period? Well, I say rather than waive that inspection period, maybe just do a shortened inspection period. Do a pass-fail. So what you're going to tell the seller is, hey, we're just looking for major structural issues, and we will be in and out. We're not going to renegotiate. It's going to be a pass-fail. We're either going to move forward or we're going to not, and we're going to back out. That makes it very strong, because a lot of times sellers don't want to go through that nitpicking of, okay, electrical outlet number 2 needs a faceplate, those types of of repairs and fixes. So that's a way that you can make it stronger. And like I said, cutting that inspection period down. Although price isn't always the end factor, terms come into play. Having a strong price, of course, is helpful. Having a fast close, depending if that's what the seller wants. And one thing that we do, or that I request that we do with the brokers in the office, is talk to that other agent and really find out what the seller's motivation is. Do they want to be out in 20 days? And do you have a lender that can make that happen in 20 days? Or a cash deal that you can finish in 20 days? If the seller doesn't want to leave for 3 months, are you willing to close in 3 months? Doing those types of things and really personalizing that offer to the seller's needs will make a world of difference, and you don't have to cut out that inspection period. So just food for thought. I think it's a bad idea to cut out your inspection period, even in a multiple offer situation, but work with an agent or a broker that really understands how to be competitive without having to cut out things that are that could be detrimental to the buyer, right? I mean, you're being represented. When you hire a real estate professional to work with you and to submit this offer, they're really representing you. And you want to make sure that you are fully being represented. This could possibly be one of the biggest purchases that you make. And many articles and studies show that this is really our biggest asset, our household asset in the United States. So when you're making this big purchase, make sure that you're completely being represented. Make sure you're not cutting corners. Don't cut out the things that could really hurt us on the other side, okay? If you have any questions, you can always reach me. My name is Cheryl McDermott, and you can call 206-582-5022 or send us an email at info@Mountain View Realty Group. Thanks so much. Have a great day.